9.46 trillion US dollars. That is the estimated amount of digital payment transactions worldwide in 2022. It is the combined GDP of France, Germany, Italy, Portugal, and Belgium. This shows how much the digital payment landscape is taking room in today's digitalization. Isn't it time to get on board? In this talk, I'm going to break down a brand new way to collect digital payments and to be at the cutting edge of technology. My name is Adrian. I hope you had enjoyed yourselves yesterday at the party and that you enjoy your Odoo experiences as much as I do. I'm going to talk about speed and convenience and how Odoo enables a brand new scan-to-pay feature in its point-of-sale system. So first of all, let's start this topic with a few numbers. As said previously, the landscape, this market, has grown significantly. According to Statista, the market is set to grow by 56% within 4 years. That means it will reach a 14.58 trillion US dollars by 2027. If it keeps growing at that rate, it will outgrow the EU's GDP by 2029. Moreover, 2/3 of the adults worldwide use digital payments. Assuming that the world's average majority is around 20 years old, that numbers represent 3.8 billion people. That's almost half of the world's population. This outlines the change in mindset of the younger generation and the opportunity that landscape represents. Furthermore, digital wallets represent 1/3 of all payments methods in 2021 for point-of-sale usage. Did you know that Taiwan is aiming for a 95% mobile payment penetration by 2025? All of those figures underlines the importance for SMEs to be able to offer digital payment solutions to their customer. All right, everyone, please take a moment to think about the people in your surroundings. We all know somebody that wanted to start off a little business, ranging from a one-off business selling cookies to a weekly sale of delicious walnuts. Might be your brother, your sister, your parents, neighbors, I mean really anyone. I'm sure you have that one person in mind. What do all of those people have in common? All of those people wanting to start off that kind of business faced one issue, and that was collecting their first digital payments. They didn't really want to rent a payment terminal that is pretty expensive and hard to set up. Unfortunately, that issue is way more common than we think. Small retailers face expensive, complicated and inconvenient payment solutions. This is where Odoo comes in. With its brand new scan-to-pay feature, Odoo enables to generate a QR code on the point-of-sale display. On the retailer's device, the customer scans the QR code and is being redirected to the web page checkout. The customer fills in its bank credentials. Once the payment is successful on the retailer's device, the order is settled and the customer is good to go. This feature is awesome. No extra hardware needed, and it's so easy to set up. Now, about that ease of setting that up, let's see in Odoo how we can do that. So, just to give you a little context, I got a friend Gina who just bought a pizza oven a few months ago. And she actually asked me how she can set everything up in Odoo, and she of course didn't want to rent a payment terminal. So I told her, yeah, sure. From Odoo 17 now, you can generate a payment method, a new payment method, which will be redirected online. And in order to do that, we need to follow 5 steps. So the first step is to create your point of sales. Second step is to create a payment method. Third step is to configure your payment provider. The fourth one is to link the payment provider to the payment method, and the fifth step is to link the payment method to our point of sales. So here I already created a point of sales, but if you want to do so, you go to configuration and settings, And here you can click on New Shop in order to create your point of sales. Here, if I click on it, Odoo will ask you to give in the name of your point of sales and to choose whether it's a bar or restaurant or not. Here I'm going to discard because I already did this step. Okay, first step is done. Second step, payment methods. So going to configuration and payment methods. Here I'm going to click on New, and I'm here going to fill in the QR code. Of course, I need to check the online payment box here, and Odoo prompts me directly to activate a payment provider, which we will do right away. I'm going to save, and here I'm going to click on payment providers. So those are all the available payment providers, but I'm going here to focus on Stripe, which is a major player in the industry. So if I go into on the Stripe payment provider, I have here Stripe for Gina, and I need to retrieve two data from Stripe. So basically first the publisher key, and second the secret key. In order to do so, I created a Stripe account, which is really easy to set up, takes maximum 5 minutes. Here I'm going to switch into test mode, but here we currently are on live mode. If you want to actually collect your payments, you should enter the so both data that are here. So here I'm going to switch on test mode, and we can retrieve the data either from the dashboard or going through developers and on the API keys section. Here I'm going to click on the publisher key, which is being copied to my clipboard, and I am going to paste that into the corresponding fields in Odoo. Alright, so this is done. We also need to switch the state into test mode. And we need to make sure that in the configuration the payment journal is set and is in the same company as the company we're currently in. Here this is all fine, and we can also add other supported payments which are given by Stripe, but as you can see we can for instance add Apple Pay, Western Union, I mean really all the payments methods available. So now I saved it and I need to publish it. Alright, so if you followed me, step 3 is now done. Let's go back to my QR code, so my payment method, and here I'm going to add my payment provider. Alright, let's save that. Step 4 is now done. And let's close with step 5. Let's go to the settings, all the way down to the payment section, and let's add my QR code to the payment methods of my given point of sales. Perfect. Really easy to set up. Took me literally 2 minutes to do. And now let's make a new session. Alright, so I've heard that Gina's pizzas are really great, but above all, her calzones are just delicious. So I'm going to try that out, a calzone and a soda. And you see here that we are currently on our point of sales. And I can now click on the order. The order will be shipped to directly to our kitchen display, the brand new kitchen display. But here Gina is alone, so she knows how to make a calzone, so no need for the kitchen display right now. And let's switch to the payment. Here you see that we have added a brand new payment method, which is the QR code. And if I click on it and I validate, a QR code is generated on the retailer's device, and the customer can now scan it. So here I am back on the web page checkout, so you are being redirected to the checkout of the e-commerce, and I can now fill in my bank credentials. So don't try to copy those because those are really fake bank credentials, you wouldn't get anything out of it. Alright, and upon payment, the payment is being processed, and as soon as the payment is being processed, the customer gets a green display saying that the payment is successfully processed, and on the retailer's device, the order is settled and the customer is then good to go. Alright, so Gina's getting quite successful. I've talked about her at the office, and a colleague of mine is coming with me. So let's get here. I'm taking, of course, her delicious calzone, and he is taking a margarita and a soda. Alright, let's place the order to the kitchen, and let's place the order to kitchen. Here I don't want my colleague to pay for me, and I don't want to pay for my customer. So here we're going to take advantage of the split function of the point of sales by clicking here on split. So I took a calzone and a soda, so let's select both. Let's go to payment, and here again we can take advantage of the QR code payment method and being generated here. Alright, and being redirected to our web page checkout again. So here, again, giving in my bank credentials. All right, let's proceed to payment. Once the payment is successful, you see here that it is going so fast that on the customer's side, they didn't have the time to finish, that it is already done on the point of sales. So here, now it's my colleague's turn. Let's resume the order. Let's click on the order. So this is the current order that is still left to pay, so 14.52 €. Let's get to payment, QR code, and again, validate it for my colleague to pay. And here again, being redirected to my web page checkout. So here you can, of course, copy his bank credentials because he's inviting everyone afterwards. 29, all right, and let's pay. So here again, the QR code, the payment is being processed on the point of sales again. The order is settled. See how fast it goes. This is really a game changer for small retailers. All right. So I'm getting pretty used to Gina's nice pizza stand, so I'm going there pretty often. And I'm kind of bored to give in my bank credentials every time. So I'm asking Gina if there is a way to save my bank credentials. So in this, we're going to take advantage of that as well. By going again on payment, QR code, and let's generate here the QR code. And here on the web page checkout, you see that we have a little button called Save My Payment Details, which we are going to click here. I'm going to give in my last, for the last time, my bank credentials. All right. Let's proceed to payment. And the following time, the next time I'm going to Gina's pizza stand, Odoo will have remembered my bank credentials. And I will not be, I won't have to give in my bank credentials anymore. So here, let's see how it goes. So of course, taking her calzone and soda. Let's go to payment directly. Here on validate. Let's generate my web page checkout. And you see here that Odoo has remembered my bank credentials and my bank details. So let's take those and let's proceed to payment. See, this is really time efficient. Because it's really going really fast, it takes really 20 seconds max, but it's really useful. All right, so let's close the session for today. Gina's had a huge day. I think I was the only customer for now, but she's taking more and more customers by the day. So let's close the session. Okay, I have an internet issue. Okay, so that's all right. Let's go back on. So as I said, Gina is getting pretty successful. She's got a big family, and her sister Pam wants to join the adventure. In Odoo, how can we do that? We're going to take advantage of the brand new branch management feature. So in order to do that, we can go to the settings and to the manage companies. And here we see that Gina's Pizza is the only one, but as in the branch section, you see that we've already created the Pam's Pizza company. And this is where we're going to set up a QR code payment as well. So in order to do so, remember the 5 steps we need to do. Let's switch to Pam's Pizza stand. All right, so now on the point of sales, we need to make the point of sales. This is first step, which is done. Second, the payment method. So let's make here a QR code for Pam. All right, here again, let's save. We need to configure the payment provider as well. But here I already created the Stripe for Pam, so those both need to be separated because we're on a different company. And as I said previously, we need to have separate bank journals. So going there, same credentials. So this is a huge advantage. So you only need a Stripe, one Stripe account. And let's go to configuration. And here you need to make sure that the payment journal is different and is really company specific. So this is done. I'm going to switch back to test mode. Let's save that and publish it. All right, step 3 is done. Let's make step 4, linking the payment method to our payment provider. So here, let's take Stripe from Pam. And last step, in the settings, let's scroll all the way down to the payment section and add the QR code for Pam. All right, let's save that. And let's get back to our dashboard and open a new session for Pam. So I want to check out of course, our calzones in order to compare what Gina has and what Pam has. So let's take only one calzone, I'm not that hungry, and a soda. All right, place the order to the kitchen. Let's proceed to payment, and here again we have the QR code for Pam. Can validate it, and we generate a new QR code here, and of course being redirected to our web page checkout. Here, because they are both different companies, Odoo did not recognize my bank credentials, but let's give them again. It's okay. All right, let's proceed to payment, and once the payment is done, again on the point of sales, you see how fast it goes. The order is settled and the customer is good to go. I think this is really a family thing because both pizzas are just great. Okay, let's close the session and see how fast it was and how easy it is to set that up. In Stripe, we can also benefit from a whole list of payments. So if we go to the payments, we see here all the succeeded payments linked to Pam's point of sales and Gina's point of sales. So this is really great. All right. This is not the only. Those are not the only available providers we have in Odoo. This is the whole list. So we have Azure Pay, Mali, Amazon, and so on. And as of version 17, we're also working with Viva Wallet, which will enable retailers to turn their phone into a payment terminal, so they will only rely on their mobile phone. So, now with Odoo, small retailers can now benefit from a fast and reliable digital payment solutions. As it is so fast and easy to use, so convenient, they don't need any extra hardware. Meaning no monthly subscription anymore, meaning cost efficient. This is the brand new Scan to Pay feature from Odoo. It is time to get on board. Thank you everyone for your attention, and if you have any questions, feel free to scan the QR code. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation.
You're welcome.
So we do have a lot of questions.
Okay.
Let's take the time to answer to them. The first one is, can you split the payment in several QR codes? Example, on a table in a restaurant with several customers.
Yes, so I showed it just before, but yes, you can take advantage of the split function. So you can really select what you have eaten, and you can not only split in two, but split as many items as there is in the order. Yes. Okay, good.
Let's go to the second one.
Sure.
With what kind of device can you show the QR code? What is basically the compatibility with a customer display, for instance?
Okay, so indeed on the customer display you can put the QR code on the customer display, and any device would do. If with USB connection, USB-C or HDMI, any would do.
Okay, good. And on a mobile app, what happens when network is temporarily out during the transaction? That's a good question.
Yeah. So basically, on the point of sale, so on the retailer's device, the order will be pending until the connection is restored on the customer's display. Because let's say the token is unique, the payment is through only on the web page checkout. So as soon as the connection is restored, the payment, the order is settled, and it's all fine. And it goes in both ways, basically. So this is where the customer lost his connection, but if the retailer lost his connection and the customer paid it, the order is settled as soon as the connection is restored.
Okay, good. And what happens if two customers scan the same QR code?
Okay, so here, because you have only one link to the QR code and then both scan it, it's the first one that processes the payment that goes through, and the second just get an error message that the order is already settled.
Okay. And can customers both orders and pay from the same QR code?
No. So as I said, really, like one QR code is unique and is redirected to a unique checkout page. So no, I don't think so.
Okay. So we have a longer question. Are saved customer payment credential based on a customer Odoo login or phone number? How do you know which customer profile to save the payment credentials? So it is based either on the email address or on the customer that we select on the order. So if you are on the point of sales display, so really on the base menu, you can select the customer, and here the customer will be selected and will be saved both on Odoo and on Stripe. Okay. Another question, is it possible to perform multiple payments at the same time, or do you have to leave the QR code pop field open? Do you have to wait for the customer before you can handle the next payment?
Yes. So yes, you need to wait until the customer is finished. Otherwise, yes, it just doesn't work. But as we saw, it's really fast. It takes like 15 to 20 seconds.
True. And when will the terminal payment be available on the smartphone?
So for that, we don't have a date yet. I talked to the product owner yesterday, and he said that it will be available on Odoo 17. But if you want more information, I would suggest you to go to the point of sale booth at the end of the hall here.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Another, we still have just two questions. Okay. What are the limitations? Does the client have to be on the same Wi-Fi?
No.
Question by FNB Team Odoo.
So no need to be on the same Wi-Fi. When I did the test, actually, I was on 4G and my computer was on a different Wi-Fi. So really, no need to be on the same network.
Okay. And last question. Could you explain again the customer display?
So if you want, we can switch back here. So on the customer display, basically in the point of sales, if I open a new session, okay, maybe not that one. I'm going to take Gina's because we have more there. But basically, a customer's display is an external display or a second display that you have in front here, for instance. And on that you can display a QR code, yes. So here you see this is the customer display. I mean, here it's on the same screen. But if you let's say order here a pizza, and that you generate a QR code, it will also be generated on the customer display. So here you see I am both on the retailer's device and on the customer display. So I don't know if it helps.
I think it does help. The person
thank you.
say yes.
Perfect. I'm going to cancel here.
If that's it for the question, well, thank you very much to everyone and to you for the presentation.
Thank you for attending.